Henry! It's the coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see our visitors as they get set to square off against our home team. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, to no one's surprise, Coach, it is a snowy afternoon in upstate New York as you get a peek at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Orlando Orbits and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Orlando club, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Looking to throw. Prescott. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they'll get short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success. 19 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Right back to him on first down. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, his 5th touchdown. Now on the year. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell them, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
Now Allen throwing on second down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 68 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Allen now on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
He'll get it up the middle. It's a loss of a yard. And now second down. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's Allen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And here come the Bills. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On first and 10, Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He'll leave this for Ware. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A 1st down carry for Henry. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a 1st carry for their fullback. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you 1st downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up 1st downs.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Charles' starting unit for Buffalo, currently ranked number 7 in the NFL against the pass. And they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... This is caught inside the 15. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. 3rd down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react. And they will indeed retain possession. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Allen. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Shane Ray. With a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, he's
rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They run it here. Where? And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And they've got it well across midfield, down. The 40 before it's all said and done.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go. 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go. Wide eight. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bills' passing game getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense.
Ware gets hit, and the ball is loose. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling right, the right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you, you got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. And now back out comes the offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Forced out to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen. Being chased out left. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. A touchdown apiece here in this first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Orlando in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
The pitch to Henry. Fights him off. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Rolling to his... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On the run, it's Ware. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
To throw is Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And the Bills have taken the lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Henry Anderson in there to bury. For a loss of 11. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, Allen steps away to his left. His throw incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception. The pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Again to Henry. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
He dumps it off for Henry. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they're going to the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go on going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Allen looks to throw on second down. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Shane Ray in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. Allen hit. He lost the football. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get them the football back. And now out come the Bills. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2nd down, Prescott. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Buffalo after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll run now with Ware. And he'll get this out to about the 38-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Michael Palardy now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is fielded at the 7. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Shane Ray in. There to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Here we go.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, Prescott stripped. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's caught inside the 30. And touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
"19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Ware. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start up at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Tampa Bay taking on Carolina in the NFC South. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. We'll stay in the NFC South as we head over to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Zach Dysert has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The play fake. He'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And now it's second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they're able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Star Lotulelei in on the tackle.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Derrick Henry, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Set. 319. 319. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the ball back. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout it. Every week in our game plan, how many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Prescott now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Jeff Swaim, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 17-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll look to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays you can't account for.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Maybe. He telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets. But oftentimes, your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete as well.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Taken in at the 22. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see that they rely more on the ground game here.
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And his guy... will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way home for the Bills touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
On play action, Allen. And that is incomplete here.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll take a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass.
Good, 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 good.
On third down, Allen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
This is taken around the 12. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Let's go. 3-19.
Allen now on first down. He's going to launch this thing. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. And they rattle off a big one. 41 yards.
Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
On operating from the red zone now. Allen flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
This is Henry, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now Allen, flush to his right, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Appeared to me. He was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Here we go, count. Here we go, count. Here we go. 26.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They run again with Ware. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. 26. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here we go. 28.
From the red zone now, Prescott. This will be caught just inside the 10. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, and he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the fourth quarter. The Bills on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
3-19! 3-19!
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Green 39! Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And now running right through it. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll run him here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over this entry mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy. With that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Go to 54. Go to 54. Why? Here we go. Why?
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Allen going to throw. Steps away. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down is Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play.